What's going on, everybody? It can be very distracting.
A lot of good faces on this deal.
Yeah, there's a lot of windows here.
But only one's the prettiest. Let's just make that clear.
Thanks, Dev. I appreciate it.
Talking about me again, Devin?
I wasn't, but yeah, just right here.
I'm just texting one of the alums that's asking for a password. No one needed a password to get in, right?
Nope.
Okay, that's good.
Did I see Tevin's name on here? Is my little brother on here?
I got a few people texting me about a password, so let me just try this real quick.
We can stall. Does anybody have any good jokes they'd like to get out there before we start, or no takers?
Let me try this again.
Oh. Coach, I just put the password in the chat. So the link that we sent out included the password, but if somebody didn't get it, just add in this password. It should work.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Look at that.
Let me get this on to a few more alums, and we'll stall for a second here. This is teamwork.
That's a lot of forehead in Devin Beitzel's screen.
Whole lot of forehead, Neil.
This is awkward.
Devin, is that one of those creative virtual backgrounds? That's pretty cool back there.
No, that's just my wall. It's my wall.
This is what I created.
I got a couple of them in here if you guys want to see.
Yeah. Take us through
on.
We got my guy Tyler Luce. I haven't seen him in a while. He's got the Buffalo Bill mustache going on out there. You look good, Coach Luce.
Man,
He does not. He does not. Smiley does not mean that, Tyler.
got the quarantine stash, man.
We're
That would
rambling
take
a little
like 8
bit.
years to grow something like that. Someday.
Hold on one second here. Okay, good. All right, so.
Hey, Coach.
It's 702.
You're not getting audio. I can't hear your audio.
Jonah, quit looking so sad, man.
All right, so Brady, if I get any more that text me, I got the password to get them in. So let's rock and roll, man. We're gonna keep this under an hour, so you can start us off.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. This is a lot of fun for me. This is my second Zoom meeting with something UNC related, so I feel like I'm kind of a professional at it now. My name is Brady Hull. I'm the general manager at 1310 KFKA. I host a sports talk show called The Hull Show and feature a lot of UNC coaches and players and a lot of you guys on the screen here. So it's been an honor to have you on the program and cover you guys and follow your game. So, Coach, this is a fun opportunity here with UNC alumni. And I kind of wanted to, before we start this thing, let's tell folks that are on with us kind of what this is about.
Yeah, I think, Brady, the big thing for us is just the word connected, man. We just want to get connected with so many alums. I mean, for me, I've been at UNC for 4 years, and that's a short amount of time, and this program's been going on for a long time. So as I scroll through all the faces on here, many faces I know, but many faces I don't know other than just learning names, looking at a spreadsheet. And that's something that I know for me that I want to change. And I think it's important that our alumni base is tight and connected. The school that I went to and played at, I feel so connected to that alumni base, and I hear from them all the time, and it's just it's something that's a big point of pride for me. So as we've been at UNC through different eras, different coaches, different divisions, a school that went from Division II to Division I, it's something that I think alumni can get lost in the shuffle. So my big push on this is just to connect people. We've got a new staff, we've got a new program. There's so many things going on in the world. But this is something that, from day one where I got the job, that we really wanted to push and connect this group together. So I think, Brady, that's the biggest thing. I'll give you a quick story. As I scroll through this, I see I believe I see my guy Kerry Benson on here. And there he is with the green polo. And so I didn't know who Kerry Benson was. I think he's class of maybe 89 or something like that. But when we played at UNLV 2 or 3 years ago, when we had Jordan Davis and Joan and Andre Spite, Kai, a couple guys that are on this Zoom as well, Kerry reached out to me and just shot me an email and said, hey, man, I live in Vegas. Can I get on the Zoom? And or can I get on the Zoom? Can I get tickets to the game? So I said, sure, man. So we got him tickets. And when you're on the road, you don't really control the tickets. Are you behind the bench or are you up top? Well, we almost beat UNLV that night. It was a great game. And Kerry called me after the game and was very complimentary, but he was also really, really upset. He's like, listen, these tickets you guys got us were complete trash. They were in the upper deck. I had a couple other guys with me. And so Kerry's kind of chewing my rear apart. Like, hey, man, like, I don't have any control over it, but I do appreciate your honesty. But we've been in touch since then. So if you fast forward 3 years from now, Kerry called me probably 2 months ago after I got the job and said, hey, listen, coach, we're doing a Zoom with my class of 1989 or whatever it is. He said, can you hop on that Zoom? So I'm sitting there talking to Kerry Benson and 10 of his teammates who I've never met before. And we're just out there talking about UNC basketball, and they're talking about the good old times. And, they're making fun of their old stuff. To me, that's what this is all about, being able to connect people, connect eras, and just really as we as a new staff try to continue to build and create our new era, also honor the past and put people together. So long story short, Brady, we're just trying to connect, man. That's the whole point of this deal.
Yeah, and I know at the end of this this Zoom meeting, we're going to ask, what you guys would like to see, a couple of different options as far as better ways to connect. So we'll kind of open that up for everybody at some point down the stretch here. But we got a lot to get to. Current status, questions on the season. There's a lot of questions about everything going on, facilities and plans in place for the future. So we'll get to that. Alumni focus. Some great players on this Zoom call here that are still playing. Some great players that are doing great things throughout their communities too. So we want to talk about that. But we also have President Feinstein on with us. I keep wanting to say program, but it's not a radio show, it's Zoom. So we have President Feinstein over there. We have Athletic Director Darren Dunn, but President Feinstein, always honored when we can, when our paths can cross.
Thanks, Brady, and thanks, Coach, for having me on. And it's so nice to see all of your faces, your smiling faces. I got to tell you how much I need basketball right now. I need to go to a game really bad. This is it's been a tough spring, tough summer for all of us. A lot of challenging times, not only at UNC but nationally. And I just need to go to a game. So if you guys can set that up for me maybe next week, I'd really appreciate that. Just kidding, but I'm just looking forward to the season. We've got a couple weeks left before school starts. There's certainly a lot of variability happening, and I'm just looking forward to school starting and getting on with some what we all love to do, which is be involved with the university. So sitting in my home office, got a couple signed basketballs behind me from last season. Looking forward to a couple more of those and maybe a ring I can put on my finger possibly. You never know. And so I'm just happy to be here.
Well, President, thank you so much. And David Sabaljic over there looks like he's at a game somewhere. So when did this happen? That's a full gym there. So
and he's hovering. He's flying over the entire arena too. It looks like.
Gotta be in somehow.
Athletic Director Darren Dunn is out there somewhere too. I don't know which page. Always great to see. There he is. How are you, sir? Good to see you, my friend.
Great. Thanks for being here, and thank you all for joining us. This is really good to see so many of you, so many faces. Hopefully we can get more and more guys on this group because it's important to bring you all back together and keep you a part of the program. So thank you all for joining us.
I got to say, I hope that Tim and Tate are being careful. I see them driving and on the video too at the same time, so they're definitely very talented individuals right there.
That's multitasking, baby.
Skill right there. I can barely do one thing here, but great to see everybody again. And hey, a couple of different names we're seeing throughout there, Coach, too, that are kind of highlighting. I know you gotta give a shout out to your wife's boss first, right? You gotta do something cool there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pre-register list, and I know that the password just popped on. So first of all, if any of you have teammates trying to get on, text that password to them. As we always tell our guys, the great ones adjust. But no, I mean, I see my guy Terry Anderson, who's at Ames, and just had his third baby boy, or his third child. So congrats on that, Terry, over there with the headphones on. Good to see you, my man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad for the opportunity. Hope you're doing well. We're excited to have you on board as the top dog now. Big things to come. I know it's coming.
We appreciate it. Who else is on there, Brady?
Seeing Doug Kasmerick out there. Doug, you're on, right? I see your name floating around there. Just a shout out to you.
Yep. Hey, I'm here.
Good to see you, man.
Nice to see you.
It's funny looking at this too. I'm looking at some of the guys and worried about the password, so I'm staring at the phone as well. But gosh, we got Coach. Let's see. I don't know if Coach Nolan's on here. He pre-registered with the South Bay Lakers. He may or may not be on. He may be texting my phone right now, but maybe or maybe not. If he's not on, he's not recognizing. We might have to move on from that one, Brady.
Coach Olander, are you out there? Are you still celebrating that 2017 state championship?
Yeah, I'm definitely out here and still celebrating. That was the last game, so that's the last one I'm going to coach, so I need to still celebrate it.
Hey, that's the way to go out, right? Win that final game. That's what everybody wants to do.
That's right. It makes it a lot easier to walk away.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We got, from kind of back in the day, class of 71, I'm looking at our list. Is Albert Reinhardt on here? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. He may need a password. So now we just keep moving on.
How about Donald Stone? You out there, longtime season ticket holder? Are you around somewhere? I don't think so. Unless under a different name, maybe. But not quite yet. Maybe they need the password to get in.
They might. The texts are popping through. So if you guys see your teammates, keep texting. Who knows how this stuff happens? I want to give a shout out to my son's junior high coach at Winograd High School. I see him on here. I just saw his face pop up. The legendary Mike Higgins. Mike, I see you on there, man. So good to see you, my man.
Great to see you and everybody else. Hope everybody's happy and we can all get through this together and I guess become stronger one way or the other.
That's all we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's great to see so many faces that we missed. We're gonna talk to a few more throughout the Zoom meeting a little bit later on too. Give some shout outs, of course, and follow up on some of these guys taking their talents to the next level too. So that'll be exciting. Coach, I guess as we kind of get into this thing here, talk to us about the current status with UNC Hoops. Certainly, there's always a lot of questions in the preseason and in the off season. But as we all know, 2020, there's questions for every single thing. So you're not just talking basketball; you're talking to everything else around you.
Yeah, I think right now it's the biggest thing is that the biggest thing for us to expect is just change. Things are changing on a daily basis for me. Whether it's NCAA regulations, whether it's with even Weld County or our school. I mean, things are fluid. Our guys are all here right now, with the exception of our one European big man that can't get a visa. But our guys are here, and we're constantly on Zoom with our players too, as they kind of work through voluntary workouts and things, and just letting them know what we can do and can't do. I'll tell you this, Brady, we've done more Zooms over the past 4 months that I do feel like a Zoom professional, but for me and for our staff is the ability to eventually get back in touch with our guys, which hopefully is coming soon. But probably the only constant right now is change. I mean, as we can see nationally on ESPN, whether it's full league, the Ivy League, the Patriot League shutting down fall sports, whether it's the Big Ten moving football, no non-conference, just things are changing. So one thing that we know is that we've got to be able to adapt and move things forward. That's really all we know right now.
Guys, yeah, again, if I can remind everybody, if you're not chatting right now, if you could shut those microphones or turn those microphones off too, because we're picking up some outside noise too. So just a little thing there that we caught. But Coach, the question you've probably heard a million times. I get this question and I have no idea. I never claimed to be a know-it-all with anything. at this point in time, will there be a season? I mean, you're getting the same thing from all programs and all coaches. So I know a lot of people are asking the same questions.
Well, that's where it's nice to have my boss Darren and on here, and Davidson Bolchik and President Feinstein. But I think the answer is, right now. I mean, we're just pushing forward. You know, it's just a constant deal, and I get those calls from player parents. I get the calls from recruits. Get the calls from everybody. And right now, all we can do is we've got a full season schedule. We're still working on some game contracts and things like that to be able to release the schedule. But again, it's kind of a fluid situation. So. You know, right now the answer is, you know, full speed ahead. And Darren, tell me if you want to add into this at all.
All we can do. So we know more. I think basketball, I think it looks good. Fall sports, we'll find out here in probably another few weeks. But I'm really hopeful that we can start basketball and start as soon as possible.
And it seems like that's, again, a lot of the question or a lot of the ways to answer this, right, is nobody really at this stage has a lot of those answers. So we just keep pressing on every single day. Seems to be some new information. So hopefully things progress in the right direction, and we'll certainly wait and see and keep you updated. Coach, I figured this would be a good time. The last time we did one of these, was that like 2 months ago, a month ago? I'm losing track of time. But we want to reintroduce and get that full staff out there too for folks wondering. Let's run down the staff if you'd like to.
Yeah, we got the staff, man, and really excited to introduce our entire staff. And I think I have everybody on here as I kind of flow through this deal. But as we go through it, you know, as I see my screen, okay, first thing I want to introduce it. He's actually sitting outside of my house right now. He just pulled into town on his first day. Is Coach Corey Farringer, who just came down and you know, it's on Twitter right now. It's all over the place with him making this move. Now we're not announcing stuff for some school reasons for a little bit longer, but as I told Davidson Bolchik, I said when it gets announced on his end, when he resigns his head coaching job at Western Nebraska, this thing's going to move, man. And I think the Twitter world blew up today. But Coach Farringer was the head coach at Western Nebraska. As I've told many groups, I think he was, you know, probably the top junior college coach in the country. And for him to be on our staff, just so excited. So you got Coach Farringer. Coach, say hi real quick just so they can see who you are.
What's up, fellas, man? Happy to be back in Colorado. I see Coach Fulda played against Terry at Trinidad State. I remember Beitzel leading the charge with the MVP run, and then getting to know Trent Bodie, having them play here, and with Jonah and Jordan on as well. So I'm just excited to be here and happy to be on Coach Smiley's front porch right now.
So there we go with Coach Farringer. Now some of you have heard from Coach Reed. Coach Reed, another former head coach that I was able to pluck from Chadron State College. Now, Coach Reed played with me in college. We've known each other for, I don't know, Coach, for 20 years. And, you know, one of my best friends, man, has done a great job. And so for him to come as well. I will say as a side note, between Coach Reed and Coach Farringer, we've added, I believe, 25 years of head coaching experience to our staff, which a lot of teams in our league can't say. So I'm really excited about that from a head coaching experience where I can lean on some guys that have been through this and done and been in this seat just like I am. So Coach Reed, say hi real quick.
Hey guys, everybody, it's really good to see you. I just really pleasing to see so many familiar faces. You know, Coach Olander, I saw Coach Vlasine on as well. I remember watching Will Figures come up and play along with Neil Kingman, and everybody knows Beitzel, and it's just it's great to be on staff. It's great to be in Colorado, and it's you know, I got the connection. My wife is an alumni as well, along with my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law, and so we certainly are bear proud and just really excited as a family to be on staff and be back in Colorado as well.
So we got Coach Reed. Okay, then we'll go to someone that you've seen on the sidelines last year, Coach Green. Who Coach Green is, you know, one of the only current guys here. He's had to take a big load right now over these first months in the COVID world. So it's been other duties as assigned, and he's turned into a Zoom professional as well. But Coach Dorian, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
What's going on, guys? I recognize, you know, some names and some faces just from back in the day, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to you know, going into year 2, and you know, it's been good for me to get back out in Colorado and spend some time again out here. It's really my second home, so excited to see some of you guys, and like Coach said, just continue to kind of grow this connection, and hopefully we kind of continue to build off this tonight.
Very good. And then we've got, and I saw him popped on earlier. It looks like he may have popped off. Coach Klump, are you on here right now? He may have lost his connection. If not, and Coach Klump is our Director of Basketball Operations. We'll see if we can pull him back on. Coach Klofel, who I see there in his nice home office, our Director of Player Development. Coach Klofel last year was a volunteer on our staff. A lot of you know Coach Klofel. He's a Greeley legend and another head coach. Coached at Greeley West for a long time. And we were lucky enough last year to have him as a volunteer. And this year we were able to keep him on, promote him up to that Director of Player Development. Coach Klofel, why don't you say hi real quick?
Yeah, it's great to see a lot of familiar faces just from the local hoop scene, getting to watch a lot of you guys when I was younger and coming up, and then giving Neil Kingman and Mike Higgins some buckets at the high school alumni tournament. Two real local legends. I have to give a shout out to Joe Fulda, my college coach. Just a great coach that, UNC has a long history of producing great coaches. And so it's great to see him on here. And then Coach O and Coach Terry, who were some high school coaching peers, that great guys. So really excited about what Coach Smiley has going. I think he's done a great job so far interacting with our local community. And so just looking forward to hopefully an upcoming great season.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now, so we'll go to he's back. Coach Klump's back on. We got his connection back. Coach Klump, we're just going back to the introductions. Why don't you say hi to the crew and just introduce yourself as well, Coach Klump?
Hey, guys. My name is Brad Klump. This will be my going into my fourth year at the UNC men's basketball program, going on year 7 in Greeley. So I've got a bit of both worlds. I'm happy to get back to it. Excited to be here.
That's perfect, Coach Klump. And it's funny, too, as we talk about, we hear some of these names, Coach Fulda, Coach Vlasin, Coach Olander. One of the things that just our tradition, and I know the basketball and coaching world a little bit better than the professional world, but there are so many esteemed people that are UNC men's basketball alums that it's just so cool to see that. Now, on our support staff, really the person I probably talked to more than anyone else over the last several weeks, multiple times per day, would be our athletic trainer for men's basketball, Maddie Beal. And Maddie she's the rock star. She's the one that's been in touch with the guys as we go through our workouts and as things change. So Maddie, why don't you introduce yourself as well, please?
Hey everyone, I'm Maddie. I think I recognize a few of you from the last Zoom we did. But yeah, as Smiley said, I'm just doing everything I can to get these guys healthy and on the court, hopefully as soon as we can. I'm the easiest one to spot on the bench in case you ever go to a game because I'm the only female. So if you ever need some game day celebrations, just look my way. I'll hook you up with some good ones.
Yeah, Maddie brings a lot of fire on that bench. We've had multiple refs notify our administration to have Maddie reel it in, or they're going to start giving her teas. So that's kind of what we want. We want some energy and some juice. So, and then our last support staff we just hired. I know I saw him on here, Coach Payne, who's our new strength coach, and just got brought on or moved up to our men's basketball team very recently. Coach Payne, I know I saw you on here. Are you here, Coach Payne?
Yeah, I'm here, Coach.
Introduce yourself, my man.
How's it going, guys? Again, see a lot of familiar faces, some guys that I've worked with in the past. So, yeah, I'm Payne. I do the strength and conditioning for men's basketball now. Again, it's good to see some old faces. I've been here for 4 years helping out men's basketball, and now I'm just excited to kind of move up on the ladder. So now, taking on a bigger role and really excited about it and ready to get rolling.
That's perfect, Coach. All right, Brady, that's the staff, man.
Yeah. No, it sounds like a great group of coaches and trainers there, man. I know as we do these things, for me at least, the anticipation just continues to grow. So excited about the staff you guys have put together and other things that you guys continue to put together on the facilities side of things too. Obviously, there's plans kind of coming up, things we're looking at down the road, current situations too. But I think it's always good in these, as hopefully as we progress in these, to update the alumni on what UNC basketball's up to and how those facilities look.
Yeah, and what we wanted to do, I look at this pre-registered list, and we've got alums all the way back to the 60s, I think, on this call, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. And I started thinking in my own mind that, some of our alums maybe that don't live in Colorado haven't even seen kind of what our current facilities are. So we did put a few just basic pictures together. And I think, Lindsay, hopefully you have the ability to share the screen. There we go. And so I just want to show you some things first. Let's see here. Okay, I got it. Okay, so, it's a couple things. First of all, as we talk about the student-athlete experience, this is, Darren, you can probably help me out with this, probably just less than, 2 years old. But our Bob Heine Academic Success Center, this is the upstairs, the second story of the Bank Colorado Arena. And this is where our athletes, this is kind of where the magic happens for our athletes in terms of their advisement, their tutoring, their study hours, all the different things they're doing academically. And as we sell this in recruiting, for instance, we really sell, one, the ease of use, where in our world, we've got a player that can go get some shots up with a coach, go get some prehab or rehab with our trainer, Maddie, right next door. They can walk upstairs and put, 45 minutes to an hour in at study hall, get that done. Our offices are basically right next. They can walk over, say hi to the coaches, and just have a really efficient use of their day. And so this was, again, we've had this center since I've been here, 4 years ago, but the school did a great job a couple of years ago of really investing money. And so now it's a functional, high-level academic center. It's one of the best ones that I've seen. And so we take a lot of pride in that. So we wanted to show our alums what's going on in that side of it. That's right there in the Bank Colorado Arena. So we've got our Academic Success Center. We'll go to the next one. The Sports Performance Center, the new weight room, which obviously I think, if you talk to Jenny Shoup, who I know is on the call, it's the number one priority. Ground has not been broken yet. We all know that. And I think that because of COVID, some things may have slowed down. But I know that, my goal and our administration's goal, and Darren's in the call, is that in this future here, it's a big need. We've got great strength coaches. Our strength coach, Coach Payne's on this right now. And if you've been to the weight room recently, it has everything we need, but eventually we need more space. And so that's been a big push. The ground hasn't been broken yet, but we do believe with the mock-ups, the blueprints, that sometime in the near future, depending on how COVID, controls our world, that's going to be kind of the next thing. So we wanted you to, kind of at least get just a basic visual of that. The next one, this is something that sometimes as a coach, I take for granted. Our practice facility. Before I was at Northern Colorado, I was at Weber State when Weber State was pretty good. And, we won the league my second year there. We did not have a practice facility. All we had this great arena, but we had 2 hoops to work on. So if you got men's basketball, women's basketball, you might have half the court. It just was not a good practice situation. So as we sell skill development and recruiting, and a guy like, Jonah's on this call, and Jordan Davis, guys that have turned into pros, we really sell the big picture of being able to develop, and you need to have the space to do that. And so the practice arena has been here since I've been here 4 years ago, and it's one of the greatest things. It may be the greatest thing that we sell in recruiting when we get players on campus. Now, the next picture along with that is just that this is the new practice floor. So no one's really seen this yet outside of Maddie and our players, because they've been in the gym and Maddie's been in the gym checking them in. And so we now have basically a replica floor of what we have in the main arena into the practice gym. So now our practice gym, in terms of how it looks and how it pops, it's, again, I think it's one of the highest level practice gyms that there is in the entire West. I think it's that good. So we want to show you that. Then the next picture, which is really just the biggest thing. Like, some of you are local and you're able to see games here. Some of you aren't. But we just wanted to show, again, people that from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, this picture, this wasn't 20 years ago. This picture was, 3 years ago when we were in the CIT National Championship, when we won that game and broke the school attendance record. I think back to, guys like Kingman, Beitzel. I think Taylor Montgomery's on this Zoom right now. When they won their championship, the gym looked just the same, but just the visual of, this is a special place, and we can get this place going. When we played Eastern Washington this year, we had 2,600 in the gym. The gym holds just about 3,000. And so the environment and where it's going in terms of what we always tell recruits, there's, in theory, nicer gyms. But what we have going for us, and I truly believe this, is we have the right size of gym. 3,000 people, is in the big picture of college athletics right now, is attendance is dropping even before COVID. I love the size of our gym. 3,000 people is perfect. When we get it packed, it gets hot in there, it gets rolling, it gets loud. So we just want to give you a visual of that as well, because sometimes probably as a staff, we take that for granted, that we have the perfect size gym to really be successful. So I want to show you that as well. So just a few pictures to kind of give you some visuals of that. And I'll pass it back to Brady.
Yeah, and again, just looking through that, and my mind's going here, of course, and it's just so important for so many reasons to have those facilities and the upgrades added, Coach. And I know you and I have talked about it on the air quite a bit, but recruits, at the end of the day, when they see those kind of facilities where they can better hone their skills in the practice court, weightlifting facilities, weight room, it's second to none. You have to have it, and you have to have those upgrades to it. So it's extremely important as you guys continue to build the program.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now as we continue to build in terms of the facility standpoint.
Yeah, guys, as we transition here, we were going to check in. We're going to check in on a few guys that, you saw in Bears uniforms not too long ago, but they're still playing professional basketball, or they're waiting to see what that next step looks like. Guys like, Jonah Radabaugh, of course, Kai Edwards, interesting positions for sure. But I did read this, guys, on the message board. Jordan Davis was with us, did mention that an emergency came up, so he had to leave the meeting. But he's really looking forward to seeing Coach Smiley and the new staff get to work. He did want to throw out an update, and I'll go ahead and read that for you guys. He's currently playing in Israel, First Division, and next year we'll be playing in Spain, ACB First Division. If anyone wants any updates, you can get my contact information from Coach Smiley. And, Coach, didn't you tell me he's got a playoff game coming up pretty soon too?
Yeah, so JD is in Israel right now. And going back to JD's span, he started in the NBA Summer League last year, had a great summer league. Was picked up after the second game. He signed with what's called Octagon Agency. It's one of the biggest agencies in the world. They represent Steph Curry, Giannis, some of the best pros in the world, and it's not easy to get an agent contract from those guys. So after his second game with the Nuggets in the summer league, one of the top teams in Spain is called Baxi Manresa. They called his agent. They offered him a rookie deal in Spain, and last year there were 3 rookies in that entire league from America. And so that's something we take a lot of pride in terms of like, well, is there bigger and better places? That's not easy to do. So he played in Spain. He came home during COVID, and then he got picked up by, again, a team in Tel Aviv, Israel called Hapoel Tel Aviv. And for those of you that kind of still follow basketball, in their first playoff round in a couple of days, they play Maccabi Tel Aviv. Maccabi is one of the highest teams in the world in the EuroLeague. So JD will be going up against Maccabi in a couple of days. So that's kind of his deal, Brady.
And as we kind of transition here, I did want to read a message here Darren's putting out there too. We raised the funds to build the new Sports Performance Center facility. We need to raise approximately $500,000 for the equipment. We were going to break ground in April, but COVID got in the way, of course. So set to break ground. They will break ground, hopefully sooner rather than later. So yeah, obviously you guys are continuing to work and build for the future, even when we're all kind of in that wait and see mode. The work continues to be done by the University of Northern Colorado. I know we have Jonah Radabaugh sitting out there too somewhere. I don't know if Kai is on here. I was going to use, hey Kai, what time is it there?
No, I am. Yeah, I know it's like
Kai, what time is it there, man?
It's 12:30 here, so I'll be here for a couple more minutes. But
are you ready to go to sleep pretty soon?
Yeah, so
hey,
I'm on here still.
How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Of course, it's been a little
Good
while.
to see you.
Good to see you.
I know.
How are things?
No, we're doing good over here. The COVID is getting better over here, so less cases now. And the last couple of weeks, I've been practicing with the Dutch national team. So finally, good to be back on the court, and hopefully hearing soon where I'll play next year. So
yeah, so getting practice, getting a lot of meaningful reps and practice and things like that.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, man, we won't. One of the things I did want to ask you, though, of course, you and Jonah, especially. I mean, this is such an interesting time. It's a transition time in your careers. Obviously, with everybody, it's a strange time. So,
No, for sure, it's definitely a weird time to like start your new phase of a career, but that's for everybody. Same with like for Coach Smiley and everybody over there. It's like it's a hard time, but that's for everyone. So hopefully it gets better soon, and we'll all be able to make a good next step. So I'm excited to see how the new Bears, how they're gonna do for sure. I'm excited. So I'll definitely stay close to the program.
I appreciate you, man. Hey, go get some rest, okay?
I will for sure. Good to see all of you, though.
All right.
Yes,
Jonah's on here somewhere. Jonah, what time is it there, man? What time you got?
It is 4:30 right now. 4:30.
Oh, okay. We're in the same time zone still. All right. I have to get that straight. Jonah, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm just, kind of trying to find some time to get in the gym anytime I can. I'm, lifting, staying in shape, doing all that kind of stuff. And, I've talked to like a handful of NBA teams and a handful of teams out in Europe at the same time. So, right now I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens with, all of the travel bans and stuff like that. But hopefully something will get done in the next few weeks. So we'll have some more information on that as time goes on. But right now I'm just waiting and watching, honestly.
I know Coach mentioned with JD, the agency he signed with Octagon. I mean, it's a good shot. You signed with those. You signed with Octagon as well. So I mean, there's a heck of an opportunity out there. But like we said, it's a strange time for you, but it's also a strange time for these teams. They're kind of unsure what this future looks like too. So they're kind of in that wait and see mode too.
Yeah, a couple of them. I've talked about it with most of the teams, how they're kind of just feeling stuff out at the same time. But like you said, I'm with Octagon, like JD, and we have the same agent. So we go through a lot of this stuff together. I mean, I've almost every time I talk to a team, I call JD afterwards and let him know what happened. And he's kind of showing me the ropes a little bit on it. So we've been staying in touch and kind of just working through it.
Yeah. Well, man, we'll be rooting for you, hoping for the best. Of course, I know this isn't the last time we'll see you, so we'll chat with you soon on these Zoom meetings. And like I said, man, we'll get you back on the show. And I'm ready to do some one-on-one at some point, right? Is that offer still out there?
It's always up. Always
okay,
up. I'll take any time. I'll take it anytime.
Can I just shoot free throws? Can that be my thing? I just want to shoot free throws. That's it.
Sure. Absolutely.
Hey, we have so obviously it's awesome to see guys that go straight from the college hoop scene and then seeing what they're doing, of course, and what that next level looks like. Certainly a strange time for sure, but there's also a lot of movers and shakers that we've seen a few years back. I know Devin Beitzel's hanging out there somewhere, man, and of course we know what he's done in the basketball court for so many years and what he's continuing to do in the community. So Devin, if you're still there, man, talk to us a bit. Again, I know you're a mover and shaker throughout Northern Colorado. Well, we had Devin at some point, but
he's on mute. Devin's got to take the mute off. I can see his lips moving.
Technology's hard, guys. I apologize. Fighting with a 1.5-year-old. So for starters, just want to make sure we establish that I have been and always will be a better shooter than Tate.
No way.
Just want to make sure that's clear. Just want to make sure he knows. But yeah, no, since my hooping days have been done, I've been playing adult 5 days a week like most of us. They don't tell you this growing up, but being an adult just ain't that much fun. So I work for Flood & Pearson doing commercial insurance up in Greeley. Work with a couple not-for-profits up that way, helping disadvantaged youth in the Greeley community, in Northern Colorado community, and that's been great fun. Got married and got a family. Got a little Ava, come here, come say hi. Got my little girl that wants to say, oh, can you say hi? Say hi. She doesn't want to say hi right now.
I am 90% of the time on the camera, so she's
Nope. So, but yeah, no, things are good, and a couple of the guys we stay in touch. I mean, me, Will, and Neil, and Terry, or Taylor. We've gotten together a few times over the years because we're all here locally, but not as much as we should be. So, yeah, no, everything's good.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, it's great to see you, and obviously a lot of us see each other throughout chamber meetings and things like that, and it's cool to see these UNC Bears doing some big things. You know, obviously it's fun to see right after you graduate from UNC, you play basketball, and then what that next step looks like, which in that adult side of it, it's going to be cool to see Bears continuing to progress. Neil Kingman also hanging on still out there somewhere. I know he's absolutely doing some big things throughout our area after the basketball side of things. Neil, are you there?
I'm here, but I'll wait till Devin learns how to now mute his phone again now that he's not talking.
Oh yeah. Sorry, technology's hard, guys. I apologize.
Yeah, you never get used to these Zoom meetings.
Like Jonah, I'm still waiting on my call from the league in Europe too. Sean Nolan, I think I saw you on. I'll send you some tape from my last rec league game. Let me know your thoughts. No, I'm in Greeley as well. Since I graduated, I've been in banking. So I work for a bank here, and I focus primarily on small business, lending money, basically. Married a UNC softball player. We've been married for almost 6 years now, and we've got 3.5-year-old and 10-month-old twins. So our house is a complete circus right now. But it's good. This is awesome. I love this kind of stuff. We've tried to get some stuff like this put together, with prior staffs, and just couldn't quite get it figured out. So I'm hoping this is a catalyst to get some more in-person stuff figured out, obviously, once we're able to do such things with the coronavirus and all that. But it's good to see some faces I haven't seen in a long time, and hope we can keep this stuff rolling.
Neil, appreciate it, man. And yeah, and at the end, I think we're going to have kind of a survey type setup here. Not really a survey, but ways we can connect. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions, I think we'll have a list there for you guys to go to, and whatever's convenient. I mean, even once we get through all of this with coronavirus, hopefully maybe the Zoom thing is still something we utilize quite a bit. So I know either way, a lot of people are excited to get that going. Coach, am I missing anybody else here that we want to go through on the list? I know a few folks were on and then off, and then it's kind of been, am I missing anybody?
Look, I think that looks good. I mean, the biggest thing is, going all the way back to when all of you were players, and even before you got to UNC, or as people are recruiting you and saying, okay, what are your dreams? Because we go through that right now with all of our recruits and all of our guys. And for most 18 to 22-year-olds, the aim is to play pro. They all want to be pros. We explain them, like, listen, that's great. But at the end of the day, you're also going to that ball's going to stop bouncing at some point in time, and that's where that degree is so important too. And so just to hear that some of these current guys that are still playing pro, I think Big Ibrahim's on this deal. I know he's still playing pro. But then when that ball stops bouncing and just looking around, whether it's, obviously Neil, Devin, Terry Anderson, man. Terry Anderson just got named the Dean of Ames, man. So, I mean, to see people that are making big things happen, that's what it's all about. And so, no, I think that's good, Brady, and just kind of tapping into some peoples that hearing from them. So that's good on that, Brady.
Yeah, no, again, it's fun for me too to talk to guys that that I've watched throughout the years, and a lot of guys I haven't watched throughout those years too. But you hear their names throughout the community, and everybody knows who they are. I came up here a few years back, so unfortunately didn't get to enjoy every single basketball game. But man, you walk around the community and you hear a lot of great names, and it's really fun to see that. Coach, speaking of that, while the ball is still bouncing on that roster, what does that roster look like going into the season? Obviously, there's a lot of question marks about what the season looks like, but you can tell us a bit about that current roster and what we can expect from this team.
Yeah, we're dying to play. I know our guys are chomping at the bit. I know that's the same for every basketball player in America right now and every college athlete. But for us, I mean, I think what we're really excited about is that, we have so many returners. We have 9 returning guys on our roster of 16 players. For those of you that have had a chance to follow us through the past couple of years, we've got some really good players coming back. Obviously, Brady Hull probably has the most acclaim right now, and rightfully so. He was a second-team All-League player in the Big Sky as a sophomore. He was the only sophomore to get that accomplishment. being second team all league. I think a guy like Kur Jakuch, he's just starting to take that next step. We believe that he's an all-league big. I'm not so sure if he might be the best big in the league. And he'll be a guy that Coach Reed will be working with. And I know how much he's excited to work with him. But he's not just scratching the ceiling. It's starting to really come together. And at the end of last year, what he was doing on the court with him and Kai Edwards was really big time. But Kur, we all know Sam Masson, a guy that, since the day he walked in, is playing 30 minutes a game. And all these guys, what's really exciting that the majority of our minutes are juniors or younger, between those three guys especially. Matt Johnson, who'll be a junior, was a starter last year. So last year, a lot of time, four of our returning starters, or four of our starters are returning players, and they were all sophomores in terms of Sam, Matt, Bodie, and Kur, along with Jonah, usually starting those games. And so I think that the foundation, the fact that not just this year, but we're excited to see what we can do over the course of the long haul. But returns look good, and then new guys coming in. We don't know. We haven't seen them yet in the sense of the new guys that we signed in the spring. It was all COVID recruiting, and so you can't get out, you can't see them. You got to watch them over film, Synergy, YouTube. Still doing your same due diligence, but I think we got some really good players that are on our roster as new guys, including Marquis English, who's the Kansas Player of the Year, had a great freshman year at Butler Community College. Obviously, a lot of us have heard of Dalen Kuntz, who's the Colorado transfer. Still waiting to see if he's going to be able to play this year or not. The typical rule is you got to sit as a transfer unless you get what's called a runoff waiver. So we'll see. We're still working on that. Probably 50-50, but Dalen's a very good player, whether he plays this year or the following 2 years. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining. Very, very good, talented player and a great kid. Jamel Melvin, 6'10" freshman from Washington, D.C., that we think is just oozing talent. We think he's a lot like Kur 2 years ago, where he's still young in the game, but what he can do, not a lot of kids can do. So we're dying at the fact that we haven't had a chance to work with him since June 1st, but Jamel, Connor Creech, who was our most recent guy that we announced from Hastings, Nebraska, could be a very special guard, big 6'5" lefty point guard that could play a 1-2-3. And his dad's about 6'8", and his older brother's, I don't know, about 6'9", 6'10". So and Connor looks like he's 12 years old. So he might be a kid that grows 6'7", 6'8". And I know I'm missing some guys. Our big guy Theo Hughes, who we signed in the fall, who's stuck in England right now. I feel so bad for him. He called me in tears about 2 weeks ago. Said, "Coach, they just canceled my visa appointment. Because I don't know if I can come over." And we'll get him over here at some point in time. But he's been working for a long time. He was signed in the fall. And Bryce Kennedy from Texas, from Dallas, Texas, who is the MVP of one of the biggest leagues in Texas. We think Bryce is going to be special for us. So we really like our new guys coming in. We just haven't worked with them. So there's still a lot of anxiousness from our staff to get out there and put that work in with them. And I know I'm probably missing somebody too, but the roster looks good, man. And it looks good for a lot of years if some of these guys are what we think they are.
Coach, what are those expectations? Obviously, last year, I think expectations were through the roof. I think a lot of fans you talked to said, yeah, we really felt like this team could win the Big Sky Conference tournament and take it to that next level and play in obviously the big dance. Obviously cut short, so we didn't get to see what that team could really do. But what are those expectations for you going in? I know there's the coach thing, right, that says we just want to be competitive. But are those realistic expectations of, hey, why not us? We want to be able to take this conference.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think that's the goal, man. And with our players, we always stress, a lot of individual goals as well. But as a team, like you said, why not us? Over the past 3 years, we've won 69 games, which if you take all the leagues in the entire West Coast, the Pac-12, the Mountain West, the West Coast Conference, all leagues perceived to be bigger and better than us. Our league, the Big West and the WAC, we are 10th in wins out of 75 teams over the last 3 years. As Coach Farringer mentioned too, right now we're ranked number 100 out of 353 teams in the college net. So our goal is to say, okay, that's a snapshot, that's the past, whatever. But as we move forward, our goal and our mission, just in terms of being on the court, is to have the same product that we've had and then find a way to take that next step. we do think that, last year when Darren Dunn had to walk into our team meeting and say, sorry, fellas, the season's canceled, we did believe that we were going to win the Big Sky tournament. We had no doubt in our mind. We won 7 of our last 8 games. We were playing at a high level, and things were just really clicking. We had just come off beating Montana and Montana State on the road, which is almost impossible. And we did it. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it was pretty, pretty solid in how we did that. So the goal is still, right now, we don't have a banner up. So our goal is to put that banner up to get a Big Sky regular season championship, to get to March Madness. For these guys, there's no experience better than going to March Madness. Coach Green and our staff did it twice as a player. I was fortunate enough to do it when I was at Weber State. There's nothing like that charter plane picking you up, flying you wherever they're going to fly you to, and going and competing on the highest level of the big stage. So our goal is established to find a way to get our guys to experience that. That is the goal.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are excited about that. Do hosts of Zoom meetings get to go on that trip, Coach? When that happens, is that something that we can make happen, or think about that, or I'm easy to store?
We just got to check with the administration. I don't know. We got to check with David Sabolchik. I see him on there. He's starting to sweat. We're putting him on the
He's
spot.
logging off right about now. This is when I start asking for stuff. This is when I make my plans.
Well played. Well played. Well played.
Guys, kind of a follow-up portion to this. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys do too. We want to keep growing these. And these, again, I got to say this, Coach Smiley, your staff, everybody that's been involved, I'm so excited. You are so active and wanting to reach out to the community, wanting to reach out to the alumni. A lot of these meetings you'll see, hey, we want to do this for the time being, but Coach, I know when you were first hired, we chatted right off the bat, and you've been very excited to get this going throughout the community and the program really to build upon. So I just got to speak, man. I think it's a very exciting time for the UNC Bears.
Well, we appreciate it, man. And just, before we kind of close too, as I look at, my big screen, and I see Tim Huskisson out there, and I see Matt Steele, who does so much for our program, like behind the scenes with Big Matt, and Chaz Glada, who, Chaz was my workout guy for 2 years, man. And T. Luce, who's probably the biggest servant leader I've ever been around. And, whatever T. Luce is going to do in life, he's going to do at the highest levels. And see Mike, I see Coach Flacine. We talked about Terry. I'm just kind of looking through and reminiscing, man. But, obviously Devin and just all these different people, man. It's just like Sean Nolan, Casey Gutting. I mean, people that I've had a chance to talk to recently, Coach Olander. It's just, even for me, like this whole thing has been more beneficial for me than anybody else out there, because one of my goals is to reconnect and learn and see who's been here. And to be honest, I didn't realize some of the people that were a part of this back in the day and played. I didn't even know. And so I'm learning more than probably anybody else. And just to see who's been a part of our program is something that it gets me even more juiced up, more pumped, because there is something special here. We just got to continue to ignite it. That's my biggest thing, Brady.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I think people are excited about that aspect for sure, Coach. And what are some ways as we go? And again, we want to do this. Mention the survey. There is, if you go to the message side of things, you can see there's a survey available. Your ideas as far as better ways to connect, what that looks like, but how to stay connected. And a lot of people know how, Coach, but there's also other folks, as you said, both sides. You're like, they're wanting to know how can we stay connected with all things UNC, especially UNC hoops.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is staying connected, and it's not just about, hey man, give us a bunch of money. That's not what this is about. It's more so, as you fill out that survey, or a lot of you have my cell phone. If you don't, I'll get it to you, or send me an email with myself, and I can get in touch with Lindsay and Jenny and really continue to connect. But how can we get back to you? Is it a monthly newsletter? Is it these Zooms? Is it you guys want to come and watch a private practice, which we're happy to do? Is it an alumni weekend? I mean, all those different ideas just off the top of my head. We're happy to do all that, and to really, really get out there and help out the cause. Because again, I'm an alum of another place, and it's something that I feel connected to when the coach of that place reaches out to me. So those ideas, obviously, season tickets for those that are close, or the round ball, all that stuff are ways to go. But we do want to hear from the alums and figure out how can we connect with you. Are these something you want to do, where you want to hear from the coaching staff, every other month or once a month during the season, or whatever it is. So, we're really looking for those ideas. So please, reach out on that survey, or just send me an email. My email is on the on the UNC staff directory. We can get things connected, but we really do want to hear how we can do better, because I know we can do better. We can do a better job at connecting. So please let us know about that. That's probably my spiel on that, Brady.
Yeah, obviously opportunities with round ball tickets when that's available. Hiring a bear, I mean, if you're a manager, a business owner, finding those folks that graduate from the University of Northern Colorado, I know that's a big thing too. So there's a lot of ways to stay connected, and like Coach said, he'll give you that email, that cell phone number. And I'm trying not to call you at 2 a.m. anymore, but I have questions, Coach, so I need them answered.
Whatever you need, man. My email, my cell. I mean, you guys got all my stuff. I'll even type it in here. I'm happy to take your guys' information. So I'm going to type this in here, Coach Smiley's cell, so you guys have this as well. Most of you already do, but, as I said, looking back to people that have connected in from the 60s and 70s, I'm just so proud that we have you on this call right now. It's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, no, it's outstanding. And again, to see so many faces, I know we didn't get to everybody on this list too, but that's kind of the point, is we want to grow this, so we do get a chance to do that throughout this process. So again, there's a lot of information on the message side of things, and there is a survey there where you can take a look at and let us know what are those opportunities, what are those ways you'd like to get involved. Zoom calls, as Coach mentioned, alumni weekends, watching practice. I think that's a blast. So a lot of opportunities for sure that don't really take a lot of time to do. So again, this has been a great time for me personally. But Coach, I don't know, do we want to sign off? Do we want to open it up to questions? Or I know we're hitting the 5 o'clock mark here pretty soon. So.
If anyone has any pressing questions, feel free to ask me real quick. I'm happy to answer them. Didn't want to take too much of anyone's time. Just find a way to throw us at 4 o'clock, so the last hour of your workday you could act like you're working. I see Terry probably would act like he's working, but he's actually just watching the Zoom. So, yeah, I mean that's the goal. But if you have any questions, anybody, feel free to ask real quick. That's fine.
Lindsay put in the message box too as well. You can add your ideas to the survey. So if there's a bullet point, or if there's an option that's not there, you can add some ideas to it as well. So. Guys, again, if we don't have a lot of questions or anything at that point, I think this has been great. Tim saying thanks for the opportunity. Proud to be a Bear, just reading through some of these great messages. I know I missed a few of them here, but it's kind of exciting to see, so many different past players and members of the UNC community getting so excited about the season ahead.
Well, it sounds good, Brady. I appreciate everyone's time, and this is just the start of us building this thing up. So let's keep let's not stop it here, but let's keep building. And everyone on this call has some UNC pride, or you wouldn't be on this call. So let's keep building this thing up and finding ways to get better and grow. So thanks for everyone's time. I do appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody there, and we'll look forward to doing this again real soon. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks, everybody.